Okay, how are you all today? It's 12 noon here in Los Angeles. I'm actually in Oceanside, California, or more precisely Dana Point, Capistrano Beach. Come on down, it'll be warm and sunny in a few hours, but right now it's cloudy. But this is not going to be a cloudy presentation because we are going to talk about the V word, video. Video. You know, somebody, and I wish I'd looked it up, no doubt some old white male, said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I believe that a video is worth 1,000,000 words, and increasingly today it's also meaning $1,000,000, which put to good purposes is not a bad thing. So we're going to show you a bunch of data today. Just going to go here to my PowerPoint. And if I need to go full screen, I apologize. Somebody can call me or text me or phone me. I think this is currently good. Actually, let me try to go to full screen here and just see if that is not even better. Hopefully that is perfect. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about a study that I conducted with my company, Vorhaus Advisors, of consumers in the United States, and specifically 18 years and older adults. And I talked to them through an online survey earlier this summer. We spoke to a very large population, 2,268 people, and the survey was about 22 minutes in length. Which is actually not uncommon for this sort of thought leadership survey. And we use a very high quality online research panel, data collection firm, and we match the people taking this survey to the US Census. So the age, the gender, ethnicity, regionality are all the way it is in the United States. So this is a very good look at television. And I'm old enough to remember when television was super simple. You had 5 or 6 choices in channels. You actually had a choice of black and white or color. And I was the remote control in the family. I sat at the bottom of my back up against the bed on the floor in my parents' room, and I turned the channel. For those of you that know what a channel is. If you know what a Rolodex is, then you'll know what a channel is. But today, television is far from simple. As you can see here, we have all kinds of types of television. I guess allegedly the Eskimos have 22 words for snow. Well, we've got at least 22 alphabetic characters, no question about that. HD TV, smart TV, ultra TV. Some people have none of these things but admit to a working TV, no working TV. But they have the internet. Everybody on the survey has access to the internet, mostly broadband, as you know, and 3D TV. And in fact, most people have an HD TV because a smart TV is also an HTV. So a plethora of choices and devices. But that is nothing like the plethora of platforms that we have for watching content. And I have been studying this question for over 20 years from my previous employer. Up until the last 2 years with Vorhaus Advisors. And as you can see here, we're looking at a variety of platforms: television, laptop PC, video game console, smartphone, tablet, connected TV, streaming device. In the US general population, so looking at to the left of the chart, we have 55% of the people saying that the TV is their number one platform. And by the way, they're not saying connected TV. But look at the 18 to 34-year-olds. Wow, 34% are saying smartphone. More than twice the U.S. general population, more than twice the 35 to 54-year-old population. And you know, 18 years ago, these 18 to 34-year-olds were 0 to whatever that is, 26. Today, the 18 to 34-year-olds are the mass market. The millennial generation, some of the earlier generation, cuts off before the end of the millennial generation. These people are what they call in TV the demo. I'll be giving a somewhat similar talk to Goldman Sachs Communicopia in a couple of days, and that's all they talk about in media in New York, traditional media, the demo, the demo. How did I do with 18 to 34? How did I do with 18 to 49? And the question is, to those companies, how are you doing on smartphone? Are you using smartphone for what it is? It's a phone, it's a computer, it's a medium device. It's a television. This is a television. And huge amounts of content are consumed on it. So, am I saying TV, traditional TV is dead? No, not at all. But I'm saying what's important is the content, and content that you can watch when you want it, where you want it, whenever you want it, whatever content you want. That's most easily done on the smartphone. And lots of people, particularly in 18 to 34, will actually watch video on their smartphone even when there's a TV nearby. The big screen and the big budgets and the big stars do not always win in the video world. Money spent on digital media and entertainment. I would assume this includes in most people's minds games. And we can see here the highest average is that venerated 18 to 34 coveted demographic at $1,500, almost $1,600 a year on various forms of digital media, games, video, movies, music. Think about what you spend. I wonder, do you spend more or less than the average in your age group? And by the way, for those of you asking, what about the 13 to 17-year-olds? A lot of that data, this study happens to be adult, they look like the 18-year-olds. No big surprise. Now, of course, they may have less money to spend, or they may be spending parents' money or other money, but I can tell you, whatever money it is that they're spending, it's a priority. I'm in a rental house. I'm not 100% sure how to turn the phone off. We'll see if that actually worked successfully or not. All right. About 58% of households have what we call traditional pay TV, cable satellite, not a skinny bundle, not just Netflix, but a good old traditional average cost $100. You can see over in the blue box how that number rises as you get older, goes from 45 to 71% from 18 to 34-year-olds. And then you'll see some of the up and coming, particularly the telco, Fios, Uverse, and then we'll look in a minute at all the SVOD. So early signs of cord cutting 8 years ago in my research. And in public, I predicted 8 years ago that this would become a major disruption in the pay TV world. And it certainly has become exactly that. If you look at this next slide, look at the U.S. general population, 8% of everybody says that they are very likely to cut their traditional pay TV cord, to discontinue that $100 payment. Most of them because of content, though quite a few because of economics, and it will be an interesting rolling indicator as the economy rolls through various degrees of ups and downs as to how COVID affects this. I do anticipate it accelerating it more than anything. But the acceleration has already occurred really by two big factors. One is the huge amount of content available, short form and long form. Don't think that everybody wants to watch just Netflix. If that's the case, then you're not on YouTube, and you're not on TikTok, and you're not on Instagram, and you're not on Snapchat, and video. What did we say at the beginning of the talk? Video is worth 1,000,000 words. And did I say maybe billions of dollars? 17% of the 18 to 34, 17%, the highest number I've ever seen in 10 years of talking to people about their pay TV service, very likely to cut. By the way, don't even look at the blues, which are 15 and 8%. Cord cutting is here. It's accelerating. I think that acceleration could be further catalyzed by economics. And there's certainly been great offerings in the marketplace. So what do people do after they cancel? A lot of them subscribe to the VOD services. And I think it's safe to say that over the years, the data certainly shows that many people who use these SVOD services have in fact cut the cable. By the way, it's another talk, but even today, the impact of live sports on cable cutting has diminished considerably. And of course, there are now other avenues, both online and traditional, to get sports. You'll see that a small group of people, relative to about a third of the people, say that they'll be switching to another pay TV. So that 17% of 18 to 34-year-olds, maybe it goes down to 14%. The data released by the cable companies every quarter for almost 7 or 8 years has confirmed this continued data that I see in advance of the actual behavior. A lot of them, 19%, go without any sort of pay TV. Skinny bundles of interest. Long-term skinny bundle is an important opportunity for the cable providers. Yes, people want to save money, 47% up from 40% last year. That's why they're doing this. But when you look at all the other comments here about online content, TV shows and movies I like on the internet, things I used to watch on DVD, I have other entertainment on the internet. Remember, video is super powerful, but it's also competing with podcasts, with anime, with chat, with social media, with messaging. There are a lot of ways to be entertained. There is a little slide here on sports, excuse me. As you can see, the people that are planning, when we ask people, okay, if you don't have paid TV, how are you going to get sports? A little more than a third say, I don't watch it very often, so it doesn't really matter. But almost the exact same number says, I will go to places online where I can get the content free. Fair number of people say a sports video package, which I think is inevitable. Okay, connecting the TV to the internet. The connected TV is right now the next hot, in play right this minute platform. This is the hot platform. It's breaking out. Huge sales by Roku, Apple TV, Chromecast, other devices. TiVo has an option. People are using their TV to get to the internet. Are they doing a lot of email or composing, the great American novel on their TV set? Probably not. But you know what they are doing? What's worth $1 million? $1 billion. What's worth 1 million words? Everybody say it. Video. So these people, I bet you anything, are watching a ton of video, and in fact, connected TV people do. And there is our venerable, respected, maybe everything but ultimately wise for those of us older, the 18 to 34, the cutting edge, the leading the way in media disruption. And they're big boys now. They're adults, and they've got big money to spend and big brand relationships to make. Smart TVs paving the way for how people get to the internet, how they can look at YouTube on their TV set, how they can use a wide variety of apps on their TV set. Gaming console is still very important. Roku player, one of the great upcoming Netflix, but Roku is driven at home with their devices and their content deals, and so on and so forth. So we've all got a lot of choice here about how to connect to the internet through our connected TVs. Okay, looking broadly at digital video, I remember when it really was just cats and dogs, and maybe things equally silly. I think Pez collectors were big on eBay, and people started doing videos with Pez collectors. But today, digital video there's a concept in literature of every man, every person, every woman. What's going on the internet today is every video. Everybody's using video. The entire US population, only 25% never use video, digital video. So whether that's Netflix or YouTube or TikTok or Triller or whatever, look at the 18 to 34. Veneration comes upon them once again as the cutting leading edge. 51% once a month or more, daily. 51% daily. And by the way, they're not watching. Can you eat just one? Can you watch just one? There's a great TikTok video about not being able to stop watching TikTok videos. So YouTube has, of course, led the way in this, and perhaps in many respects the most powerful single video company in the world. Really, I think we owe YouTube for the commercialization and the massification of video. And I won't say user-generated content. I will say creator video, because that's what those people are. They're creators. And I might add a heck of a lot better than what I saw in high school and college drama. So huge video consumption. It is the way of the internet. You could ban words from the internet and maybe get away with it, but you couldn't ban video. People move to these services because they want more content. They need more content. Some say less ads for sure, though we're seeing increasingly these mixed models on video on demand services, and we're obviously got the AVOD services, Pluto and Tubi, which have done super great. I believe Crackle has a mixed model of a free and pay. People are using their phone in all kinds of age groups to get this video. 18 to 34, tip of the hat again. There's, I think, a turn of the last century phrase, 68%. I use my phone, can't remember, it's a little obscured here. For me, there's a little window in the way, but I think it's regularly, at least once a week. 68% use their phone once a week amongst 18 to 34. Oldest population, only 30%. But look at that, 30%. Did you think that your parents, your grandparents, your oldest brother would be using their phone to watch full-length TV shows and shorter form content? And then huge connection to the internet through connected TV. You will hear about connected TV. I want to say the word 20 times today because you're going to hear that word 20,000 times squared in the next couple of years ahead. The next great advertising platform and the next great, maybe the first great integration of the internet and traditional TV. YouTube out in the front, as I said. You can see Instagram, Facebook and Instagram. Again, as I've said before, the best $1 billion probably ever spent in an acquisition in the life of at least digital services. Snapchat coming on strong, 18 to 34. I was given a hard time for saying Snap was doing well and going to do much better about 2 years ago. I did an interview on CNBC. I was actually in Tel Aviv, and they were like, Snapchat's dead, Snapchat's dead. And it's like, nope, Snapchat's going to do very well, and it has. TikTok, an amazing success. I do a little comparison if you search for my name on Forbes.com in a recent article comparing TikTok to Quibi. One question, why did Quibi not work? 10 minutes isn't short form. And by the way, it's paid. And by the way, you can only use it on Quibi. And by the way, it's low virality. And by the way, who are these name people? I mean, some of them but some of them, come on. Social media, driving digital video, hugely important as a platform for digital video. People love their digital video. If you see there in the black box, Snapchat and TikTok, 50% or higher, very satisfied with the digital video. And on all the sites, YouTube, 42%, 36%. Number 4, top 2 boxes won by YouTube at 78% of the people are very satisfied or satisfied. More services to come for sure. 18 to 34 say they're going to buy more than the rest. On average, it should be about a service. One more paid service. There'll be obviously to get to an average as many people doing none as people doing 2. A lot of people have about 2.5 roughly is the general opinion. So we got continued growth in the paid streaming services. Other than Netflix, what are people going to choose? Netflix is penetrated, I think, pretty deeply into the U.S. Almost all of these people, virtually all these people, had Netflix. Disney, as we know, Amazon Prime coming up strong. Hulu, also owned by Disney, working its way up through its variety of business models. But look at this large number of people doing well. And they're doing well in a variety of age groups. I mean, these are huge numbers. You're talking about, somebody like just CBSN might have millions of viewers a day. The DAUs and MAUs of some of these traditional media outlets are pretty impressive. Live streaming, a number of us have been talking about this for years. Most of us started watching it either through esports or through the rise of live streaming in China. It's absolutely huge in China. It's growing in the United States in a big, big way. You can see here 60% of people are watching live streaming in the 18 to 34 population, at least occasionally. This will continue to grow. With today's equipment, everybody can be a live streamer. Everybody's got something to say, and your following may get you 100 followers, or maybe you have 10,000 people following you on Twitter, and you start to live stream, and that grows. Everybody's a creator if they want to be. Doing well in all the demos. Why do I want to watch live stream video? It makes me part of the event. I'm immersed in it, and particularly in these COVID times, this has been the case. Makes me feel more connected. And then I love the one actually between the two. It feels authentic. You know what? With live streaming, there's no fake in it. No fake news. No deep fake. It's live. It's what it is. If my t-shirt's got stuff on it, it's authentic. My t-shirt is authentic. I am authentic. Live streaming is authentic. People are using their connected devices to watch video. Social media is, of course, as we said, a huge driver of video usage. We have a lot of significant players. You know, I bet if you added up the valuation of all these companies, we'd be somewhere near, you know, maybe $1 trillion combined, maybe a couple of $1 trillion combined. Social used to mean chat. Social today means what's worth a million words, everybody? Say it for me. We're almost done with the talk. Video, video, video. And social media brings us our video. And I think I'm close to done here. You know, a client, I'd like to believe this was my question, but a client said to me, you know, we're positioning ourselves with nerds and geeks. What do you think about that? And I said, well, let's go out and ask the general population. Do you think you're a nerd? Do you think you're a geek? I thought they were the same thing. 8% think they're nerds. 7% think they're geeks. 45% describe themselves as mainstream. And may I say, and I do this with complete sincerity, God bless America, and God bless 45% of the people who feel that they are themselves and will not be put into a category. But by the way, if you're going after geeks and nerds, 30% of the 18 to 34. I hope you've enjoyed this. Obviously, I did. Accolades to the analyst I work closely with, Mr. Nate Laban in New Hampshire, the Don't Tread on Me state. I thank you. You can find me using my name here, Mike Vorhaus, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. Happy to be in touch with you. Can provide a copy of this deck to anybody who wants one, and VidCon is allowed to do so too. I'm sorry we didn't have time for questions, but I did end on time. Thank you. Enjoy VidCon. I've gone every year since VidCon number 2. I hope you have learned a lot about video because it's worth billions of dollars.